Really hopped out of bed to film this video because I think it's important. Submission in a Christian marriage does not mean blind obedience. And if you have been taught that it does, you have been taught incorrectly. If your husband is asking you to do something that is unbiblical, that is sinful, that's not fruitful, it's unwise, it puts you or your children in danger, you don't obey because you submit first to Christ and second to your husband. So if the Lord would not ask you to do the thing that your husband is asking you to do, then you do not do it. This shouldn't be the case. Prayerfully, it's not the case. Obviously, sometimes it is, and that's so unfortunate, but your husband should be first submitted unto Christ and then leading you. And if he's submitted unto Christ, then you shouldn't have to worry so much about what he asks you to do. Now again, this isn't always the case. Sometimes we have husbands that are non-believers. We have husbands that are new in the faith. Sometimes we just have husbands that don't hear God correctly, and that's going to happen no matter how perfect you think your husband is. But in these moments, you can disagree. Now, the Bible doesn't call you to correct and nag and disrespect. It calls you to be the helper, the encourager, but it doesn't say you don't have a voice. It doesn't say that you don't have an opinion. It doesn't say that your thoughts are not valid. It doesn't say that. And if the church taught you that this is what submission looks like, they have done you a massive biblical disservice. You can speak up. You can disagree. You can give your input and your thoughts. You should, but in the right context. You're not going to correct him in front of people. You're not going to disrespect him. You're going to allow him to think this thing over with the Lord, and you're going to back up and be the encourager and the helper. Now listen, if when you hear me say that you need to back up after giving your opinion and just encourage your husband knowing that he can just take this to the Lord and doesn't have to mull it over with you and do exactly what you say, then you probably have a control issue and you don't trust that he hears from the Lord anyway. And if you are supposed to be submitted unto this man, you gotta trust and know that he hears from Jesus. Meaning, if you don't think he hears from God, don't marry him. And if you've married him and he's walking with the Lord, trust that he hears.